It's about time, your time. Fox 11 Tucson Now Sports.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Arizona Wildcats fall camp. Arizona getting set for the season opener on August 24th at Hawaii. Joined as always by Glenn Howell, U of A football class of 1985. I'm David Kelly. And Glenn, last Saturday we got a surprising admission from head coach Kevin Sumlin, and it's interesting because it was a question that I had been wanting to ask him since the end of last season. Didn't really get a chance to ask it when we talked to him in December at the signing day, and I was never really there for any of the availabilities during the spring. But I wanted to talk to him about his two-point philosophy because in fact, let's listen to what he said after the Arizona State game last season.
Yeah, basically we got off the number early. Based on, some statistical data that we use, and trying to get back on the even number. So it's really based on that statistical data.
So he talked about how they got off the number early because they had to kick some early field goals and they started chasing the number. And that was one of the huge debates about that loss last year, was whether they started chasing it too early. You and I both agreed that they should not have been going for two-point conversions in the second and third quarter.
Go for two when you have to go for two. That's what I think.
Surprising that he admitted that was a mistake.
Sometimes it depends on the feel for the game. I'm not a first half guy most of the time. I think that you let things play out. You'd like to wait till the fourth quarter to really start thinking about going for two. And, this depends on where you are on that number. We got off of it early, and it's probably something that I probably should have done. Probably should have just waited till the fourth quarter, as I usually do, to handle that.
And that's huge. I think that's huge for a coach to admit it. That means he's growing. That means he's looking at his mistakes, making an evaluation, and saying, hey, I'm going to move on. I think that's great. A lot of those coaches that would take it to the grave, and a lot of those coaches ain't coaching no more. So that's, those guys that won't admit it. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I think that was great what he did, and he's going to learn from it, and we're going to be better off as a team.
Again, though, I'll still go back. That wasn't the reason they lost. I still think the reason they lost were the turnovers.
The turnovers and the pick. That would kill it. I'm still dying for it. I'm growing hair. I had to shave double today because I grow hair for that game. I'm telling you.
So Kevin Sumlin, is, like we said, this is year 2. It's a critical year.
Yeah.
I mean, 5-7 was disappointing for him. What's the most exciting thing that you think it's coming out of what he's got going into the second year of his program?
Well, what I'm excited about Khalil's demeanor. I'm just really excited about how he's handling things, how he's being on the field with his teammates and everything. That's a positive thing. And then on the defensive side, I like our new guys that are coming in. The defensive line, our JC transfers, and then there's just a log jam at the offensive line of guys competing for a position. We got 2 guys that are going to be solid. They're going to be Donovan, and then we have Josh at center. Donovan Lay and Josh McCauley and those are the 2 guys. But there's a log jam of everybody else that we don't know where we're going to put them in there because they're competing for the position. And that's a good thing. We have almost 6 or 7 guys, maybe 8 guys that are competing for that. And that's a great thing for us.
All right, we'll get into the defense a little bit next week. We'll talk a little bit about Jalen Harris. I'll get your thoughts on how he's come in about 20 pounds heavier, as well as hopefully this is going to be the year of putting pressure and mac and cheese. I don't eat it. Maybe that's why I'm too skinny here. All right, stay with us for our continuing coverage of Arizona Wildcats football.